and gentlemen, we are into picks and bans for game number 3 of the night. Team Intention versus Team Temmos. Let's go.
And the first ban, the Yasuo. Somebody knows. Somebody's seen. Boxy's Yasuo is absolutely disgusting. Have played against it before. No fun.
Kind of one
Meanwhile,
of those bans.
It's on the list of things that never get to be played. Xin Zhao taken off the table as well. Powerful jungler, but not, or powerful early game jungler, but not the best right now. Wonder if that's targeted ban. I don't know. Zed going to be taken off the table. He was banned solid for a couple of seasons, but he's pretty decent right now. Still not the best, though.
I think it's still a ban against Boxy because when he hasn't played Yasuo, he has played the Zed in the mid lane before. I also like the Riven ban taken away from Sejace, as that is his main, played most on the stream. So people really doing their homework, whether just through memory, remembering what different players have played, or whether checking them on op.gg to make sure that they have the best opportunity to ban out some of their strongest champions. Keep in mind, though, we do not yet have a Thresh ban. Patchinator is one of those players that can really take over a game with that. Also curious to see if they're going to ban Evelynn, as Nerzulian is back into game number 3, and he did play Evelynn last game and almost carried the team to a victory with it.
Yeah, but Nerzulian is known for his Shovelnassus, so we will see. The Aurelia taken off the table, but the Yorick is still up. There are also...
Go ahead.
There are also a couple of other champions that he plays that he plays very well still on the table. He is not a jungle main so far as we've seen, but might end up going because Sejacis is a top lane main. So it looks like Renekton going to be taken in that top lane, unless it's something really strange that we haven't seen before.
All right. Yeah, so there's going to be Renekton up there, most likely Janitor. I don't even know why my brain froze on that. The Janitor pick up Thresh. I like that. Not only does it give themselves a strong bottom lane CC champion, but taken away from Patchinator as well. So keeping it off the table as Seshat goes for the super OP broken ridiculousness of Akali. But we'll see if they can get the snowball going on for her, because Akali's one of those champions that if she gets shut down, can struggle when it comes to the mid and later portion of the game. Still good shutdown potential, but is going to be a little bit delayed in truly coming online if she has a hard time in that mid lane.
I just love Thresh's name, the Janitor, because you can just be like, I'm taking out trash.
Cleaning up the enemy team. Patchinator grabbing that Orianna for the mid lane. Most likely, as Let Me Play is going to be grabbing the 80 carry this time around. Go for the Misfortune. A little bit different, but I like the Wombo combo potential with that Orianna. All she has to do is ult, bring everyone to one central location with a ton of damage, and Misfortune's bullet time is going to tear them apart.
Also, we'll see if Let Me Play knows it. The one-shot build from Misfortune's actually kind of fun. It only works if you know how to play the laning phase really well, and you can get yourself an advantage in a couple of kills. Taking the Dark Harvest, the one shot is real. It's just disgusting how much one auto Q combo can do. Of course, you have to go lethality with it as well, but we will see what she ends up going.
Yeah, John picks up the Kayn, most likely going to be going that Assassin Kayn, especially against these squishier members of the Misfortune and the Orianna. Could go Darken mode, looking for some of those knockups, setting up his own team of that Akali, but we'll find out. He has been able to, not this player, but the champion has shown heavy prevalence in games before, especially getting an early snowball on, just coming out of the jungle and wiping the bottom lane if it is double squishies, which is the question at this point. What is the support for the side of Intention going to be? We still have another ban option for Team Temmos if they decide to take one of those supports away, but what would you pair with Misfortune, especially when you got an Orianna and a Renekton on the same team as well?
Brand Zyra. Brand or a Zyra. The poke from that lane is just so oppressive, you can shut anybody down. The Thresh, I'm just never scared when I see the enemy pick Thresh. I see him so many times, and I see usually what I see when I see Thresh. Usually it's not the case on this stream. When I see Thresh in solo queue, my initial response is, "Oh, look, somebody got autofill." And Thresh is the coolest support champion, so everybody wants to play him because he has montage potential, and he's a really strong champion that's good in pretty much every situation, so everybody likes to play him. That's why he has like a 40% win rate, because everybody who is autofill picks Thresh. It's like Riven. He's the support version of Riven. Well, now that's Pike, but yeah. So I would pair this. They do have Lucian. Yeah, I would definitely pair it with heavy poke support. Brand or Zyra, I would like here. And the Zyra is going to come through J1. They're going to have to play passively, or not passively, with distance, because Thresh and Lucian, if Thresh lands a hook, somebody's going to die. And they have to poke. They can't straight fight the Lucian because he does have a substantially more burst damage. Their level 1 is not as strong, but their level 2 is stronger. A CC that'll come through, and it is Boxy picking up the Victor for that top lane Victor.
Yeah, top lane red side Victor is not going to be nearly as strong as the blue side Victor, but still one of those champions that can happily hold his own with that Kleptomancy and be able to move in. And really, it's kind of one of those lanes that you can get kills, but mostly you're just going to be clearing the wave and defending and keeping the enemy champion from being able to push in on those turrets.
Well, really what it is he's Timo. He's Timo with movement speed that scales well into the late game. You pick Timo in lanes where you want to bully and deny CS. That's the funny thing about Victor, and the reason he's so strong right now is because you can take Kleptomancy because you're always going to be landing that second auto attack, so you're getting free gold. But you're actually not sacrificing that much in stats for it. Of course, you could take something more aggressive, Airy or Arcane Comet. Even Electrocute would be workable on Victor. But I definitely like the Kleptomancy build simply because you're getting usually you have to itemize into something like an Iceborne Gauntlet just for survivability in the lane and kiting potential, but the Kleptomancy gives you enough gold input that if you're hitting all of your farm as well as your Kleptomancy procs, then you end up just flush with cash, and you can hit your late game Victor ridiculosity faster.
Ridiculosity. I like that. New word, guys. Ridiculosity. All right, let's go ahead and roll through the players and the champions before we get too far into analyzing these teams. For Team Intention, we've got Sejaces taking Renekton for the top side, Patchinator on the Orianna in the mid lane, Let Me Play 2013 with the Misfortune in the 80 carry role. There's Zulian on the Graves in the jungle. We've seen him play this champion before, excited to see him play it again, and J1 with the Zyra support in that bottom lane.
Yep, and for Team Temmos, we've got the Janitor on Thresh in the bottom lane support role. We've got Seshat on Akali in the mid lane, I think. Yeah. And then we've got John E. DJ on Kayn in the jungle, 945 on Lucian in the bottom lane ADC role, and Boxy rounding it out with Victor in the top lane.
Ooh, this one's going to be a really tough one to call, especially when you've got players like Nerzulian and Patchinator in the game. But when you've got players that you haven't seen ever, John DJ and the Janitor, playing in the game, you really don't know what their skill level is and what they're bringing to the table. It's been a while since we've seen Seshat and 945, but composition alone, I favor Intention a little bit, but that's not to say that Temmos is out completely. What are your thoughts?
Let's see. Laning phase is kind of on a pin's edge in the bot lane. Zyra, Misfortune have the advantage unless they throw it, and it's really easy for them to do that. If Misfortune and Zyra ever get hooked and killed, then that gives Lucian priority to go in whenever he wants to, so long as he's not poked down. So if they lose those early fights and Lucian gets a kill, suddenly it's advantage Lucian Thresh for the rest of the game. Nerzulian's Graves will scale really hard into the late game, though if the Misfortune is not ahead, she will fall off really hard. Boxy on Victor beats Sejasis Renekton in champion picks if he's careful around the minions so that he doesn't give Renekton a free slice and dice to him.
That's the thing about Renekton is that slice and dice can be really, really tricky because you think that as kind of a champion in that top side, he looks big, he looks beefy, and most champions like the Garen or people like him can not have the best engages. Renekton is not one of those, and he's definitely a bruiser. So he's like a Riven that if somebody can time it correctly with the minion wave, can time their skills with the cooldowns correctly, they can be on you in literally a flash and do a massive amount of damage very quickly. So we'll see if Sejasis, who normally plays Riven, can do the same type of a thing with this Renekton.
I refute your point that beefy people can't engage well with Gragas. He just figured out that instead of, doing any work, I'm just going to throw my beer at them.
Oh, yeah. I bring you to me.
Yeah.
It's instead of me coming to you, I'm big and fat and lazy. You come to me. But he does have.
And then I'll hit you with my belly.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's interesting with Gragas is the fact that he's so big and so heavy, and yet he can cover a massive distance throwing that body weight forward. I would be terrified to see that in real life.
Inertia. I'm pretty sure there's like an old vine somewhere of some big fat kid falling down the stairs or something like that.
But there's
Somebody
no
find that.
stairs in League besides the fountain. Maybe he kind of water slides his belly. Okay, I get this. So normally you would think that your belly would get super scratched up and torn up completely by belly flopping, especially over rock walls. But if
Belly
you think
calluses.
about a water slide, all you need is a little bit of liquid to kind of smooth your slide through whatever it is. Well, he's drinking ale all the time, right? If he's dribbling it down over his chest and stomach, it's constantly wet and constantly refreshed with that slick layer of liquid like beer is. And as long as the beer doesn't dry enough to get sticky, he can then just slip and slide his way into slamming into somebody. That's what I'm calling. All right. Well, instead of talking about
I think
we're going to talk about this game.
Suitably traumatized.
Team Intention versus Team Temmos. Game number 3. Get into it. Excited to see what these teams can bring to the table as we see them loading in, dropping off their little dabbing penguin emotes, tipping that top hat for the Akali. We got some KDA skins coming out. We'll see how these teams fare. Don't think we're going to get any crazy invades unless Thresh is going to try to death sentence somebody early on, get that hook, an early CC.
Yeah. The early game, neither team has really good invade, let's be honest. They have one level 1 CC. Yeah, both teams have absolutely terrible invading comps. I mean,
J1 was looking for a little bit of poke, but without that passive of those plants being able to spawn those all over the place, and we'll walk away without doing any damage. But this bottom side of Team Temmos, not too concerned. They're going to head down there as well. I'm wondering if we're going to have a similar situation to game number 1 because Kayn is on the red side, so they could push that bottom lane brush really early and try to get potentially a flay, including a couple auto attacks from Lucian, and set that wave pushing on their side. It looks like Thresh has that exactly in mind.
whether they'll go for the early level 2 or whether they'll go for the cheese, that remains to be seen. But definitely the cheese in this lane with Lucian definitely could be something that they want to go for. I usually opt for, in my games, I usually opt for the early level 2, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. However, I generally prefer, on a hyper-aggressive champion like Lucian Thresh in this lane against Poke, the early cheese to set the tone of the lane would be a better option.
I love that word, the tone of the lane. When you're playing around pressure, especially with that poke, that is exactly what you want. Looks like the tone on the top side has been set.
Wait.
Jace is hard pushing in. Just
what?
Looking to shove Boxy underneath his own turret. What's your what ping question mark?
Lucian started W. That had to be a mistake.
Interesting. The
level
death sentence is going to land onto the Misfortune as they do have that level 2 engage. Let me play. Flashing back underneath that turret super early on as John is going to gank in that mid lane. Patchinator doing what he can to escape. Is down to that 300 health. Gets a bit of a trade damage back. Graves, after losing that Scuttle Crab, will back away. The Thresh flashes forward. The play and the heal. Death sentence as well. The Janitor just absolutely decimated this Misfortune. J1 flashing forward to get his own trade of kills, but 945 is able to get that first blood. Now being poked out, J1 might actually be able to pick up a second kill. The flash and the rocket as well. J1 needs one more attack to finish him off. Gets the plant, but it doesn't have enough. Lucian lives with a sliver of health in the bottom lane.
Yeah, behold, Fear Kane, the absolute dumpster fire of a champion early game. He's terrible. He has like 0.35 damage or something like that. He's just going to pick up these golems real quick.
They're not golems anymore, they're Crocs. But Nerzulia taking the top
they're
side,
golems.
has the double buff and red buff.
Boxy in a bad spot.
Boxy. He's going to try to find the stun onto Sejasis, who flashes it, so he's going to be able to live, go in, the flash out of the brush, keeps him alive for the moment, but Nerzulia flashes forward. It's triple flashes used, but can they chase this Victor down? He's going to get a little bit of return damage and walk underneath the turret, surviving a two-man gank, getting both of the enemy team's flashes. That is massive for Temmos in that top lane.
Yeah, he actually trades positive with summoners. Still has teleport up, and that low wave's going to reset. Now, Kane going to come down here, diving this early in the game.
945 almost got away with it, but he's going to go down. Execution, as Misfortune did get the auto attack down. There wasn't quite enough damage, and I love that while Thresh stepped forward, the minion wave blocked his opportunity for that death sentence, so he only had to play and immediately to back away. Lucian going down, though, does reset the wave a little bit in that is going to be pushing for tension. Misfortune going to be able to get back in time to pick up some of those minions, though they will not get underneath the turret. Seshat in the mid lane, ganking with the janitor. I keep wanting to say Patchinator as he's trying to escape. Oh, Akali goes in underneath the turret though. Uses the shroud, flashes away. Doesn't even need the dark passage from the Thresh to be able to get out. And so both of those members from Temmos are going to be able to walk away. So Jace is wanting to gank Boxy on that top side. No mana though. Victor doesn't have teleport, so he's going to have to walk back to lane.
It's funny that Misfortune and Zyra almost have even CS. That's usually not supposed to happen. Nerzulian just picking up a little bit. Hold on, the Janitor all over the place on this Thresh. He's everywhere on the map. Getting a kill on the Nerzulian in the jungle.
Yeah, this Thresh is really making a name for supports and showing how you can carry a game, not only making aggressive plays on the bottom side, walking underneath the turret for flays, but then ganking the mid lane, being able to help the Akali pick up 2 kills this early on into the game. That is just insane. We might have a contention for best Thresh on the stream as that 1-3 scoreline. Temmos starting off well. Comet going to get a little bit of damage onto Lucian, keeping him at about half health. 945 needs to be safe because one huge poke, actually he's down underneath 300 health. One big poke could be the end of him.
I was just waiting for MF to go for the Q execute on one of those minions. That was kill. Lucian not respecting the fact that, well, Misfortune hasn't really backed for any items or anything, so not going to have that damage available to him.
Going to be at least one wave lost to the turret as Misfortune and Zyra are going to be able to push that in. Both full health, Misfortune down a little bit in mana. They're going to be able to shove that in and going to take some Lucian and Thresh a bit of time to get back to that bottom side. Level 6 is going to be coming in very soon. Both mid laners have it at the moment. We'll see which one decides to try to all-in an enemy champion. Orianna, so far this game, has been able to pick up a farm lead against the Akali. 40 farm to the 30. Despite losing first blood to that Akali.
Patchinator Nerzulian just going to pick up that red buff, probably look for gank himself. The issue with ganking Kali is that Shroud is just so strong. Boxy continuing to trade on in that top lane, using the Kleptomancy proc to get himself a little bit money. He's also picked up a few little items for himself. It's kind of fun seeing all the old reprisals, the mana pot and stuff come back, the old sight wards. It's nice to find.
So funny when Ezreal just has that thrift store of items that he's collected. So Jace is getting damage down a bit. John gonna find Nerzulian. He is level 6 though. The Kayn gonna be able to put a lot of hurt onto the Graves. Can he get to the blast gun in time to escape? Oh, beautiful shield from Pachinator. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to keep him alive. Nerzulian trying to walk away. It's not gonna be enough. Boxy finds his own kill. Maybe going down the exhaust, slows it down to Jace, who goes in straight onto the sun. Says Shadow trying to find a trade, is going to be using that Shroud to escape, and that is a bunch of kills over to the side of Tension, able to pick up 2 on the top side as 945 wanting to move aggressively forward. Let me play with no mana. Once again, back underneath the turret.
Yeah, that was well played by Janitor there. Hold on, we've got another fight. They are caught out by the minions that... Wait, what?
Oh, calling from Lucian, gonna damage, let me play, force her to back up once again behind the turret, the minion wave now moving in. I don't think they're going to dive, but Lucian at level 6 has already been used. Well, all summoners up on the bottom side besides Misfortune Heal, who she just recently used, but with no mana, they're gonna have a hard time shoving that lane back out. And Janitor flashes forward, can't find the play, and a beautiful plan from J1 turns the fight around as now Misfortune flashes forward aggressively, looking for 945, will be going down, but Zyra will also fall. 945 lives! Oh my goodness, Janitor doing a beautiful job with that shield, keeping the Lucian alive. Just
let me play, flashing for the auto attack, but attacks the wrong champion not once but twice. Does not fire any spells off, so 945 lives there, gets to shove in this huge wave. Hold on.
Boxy
what?
gets a double stun and flashes away the victor. Living for the moment, Nerzulian flashing underneath the turret, wants the ultimate, but Boxy's able to survive that too, so Jace is considering going underneath the turret. The double dive so far has not worked out, and Victor able to walk away to the second tier turret, should be able to escape with his life. It's a 2,000 gold lead right now for Temmos, as John is going to be ganking the mid lane, gets the slow one.
Wow, this is bold.
Red buff on the Orianna, she's going to bury her, keeping herself alive. Shroud means that Seshat able to walk away for the moment, but Pachinator has her ultimate, could move forward aggressively, decides not to, as Graves comes to join just to hang out for a moment. Akali drops a ward. Alright, I wondered if she's going to go for the fight. Go for it.
Here's a fun little tip for when you're going for that flash spell or flash auto attack. Flash counts as a buffer spell. Basically, it doesn't cancel what you've already got in process. You know how you can R flash with Cassiopeia and move the hitbox forward? You can do the same sort of thing. You can a flash auto, but you click on them for the auto attack before you flash. So, I mean, everybody's done it. Flash forward and click on the tower and auto attack, and then you end up dying and looking like a retard. So you click on them before you flash, and then you flash forward, and then you auto as soon as you get in range, just automatically. That's what they should have done right down there. But since they didn't, 2 autos down on the Thresh, cost them the kill, and probably will cost them the lane as well.
And Misfortune continuing to use a lot of spells means that once again she's out of mana, so won't have bullet time despite being level 6. I think she actually, as the ultimate is on cooldown, used it to clear a minion wave earlier. Seshat going into Pachinator in the mid lane, dropping the Orianna onto about half, flashes forward aggressively, wants the kill, is able to get it, takes a couple turret shots on the way out, and will walk into Graves awaiting arms, who just quick draws for the finish.
Yep. So Jace is flashing out. He's going to go for the kill here, I think.
Boxy's got the ultimate, though. The laser's going to be burning away. He's got the shield as well, so Jace is burning down. Can Boxy escape this one? The second half of the laser not going to hit, but Kane's here in time to get a little bit of a slow down. Dashes in, finishes him off. Lucian uses the calling on the bottom side, and that's a beautiful death sentence from Thresh. The Flay pulls in J1 as well. This could be a double kill on that bottom side. Oh, Zyra almost able to trade once again, but the Triumph Rock keeps Lucian alive a second time, as he's going to be going 4-1 in the bottom lane, but most of that work is on the Janitor on a beautiful Thresh so far this game.
Mm-hmm. The Janitor definitely making a good case for his Thresh. It's really impressive to watch. He's been putting a ton of pressure down, not only in his own lane, but all over the map. Now we've got a gank coming in.
Yeah, and there's Zulian coming to the backside. There's going to be Jace's as well. These two, nice hook, death sentence from the Thresh. He drops the Dark Passage, but instead it's going to be the bait, sacrificing his life, saving his AD carry. He is 1-1 and 6. It's the ADC that's most valuable, so he will be giving his life over. Graves able to pick up the finish on that.
Mm-hmm. And definitely the right person to get for us to go over to. Graves a lot more useful in the late game than Renekton. And since their top laner is already down here, it's going to be a Mountain Drake.
Yeah, beautiful thing to pick up, especially when you're going to have that Renekton pushing side lanes out. Going to be able to easily tear through those. And if Misfortunes ever get an opportunity to hit away on a turret, they're going to be able to get a huge amount of damage down. And Zyra, with those plants as well, on like a Baron or something, can burn it down fairly quickly. A first strike of the game, 5 kills to 10 at the moment. Temmos with pretty good aggression so far this game, working out well for them. 3,000 gold lead. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Mm-hmm. And that's Sashat. Hold on, we've got an all-in and probably dead Misfortune.
Oh, Thresh steals it with the death sentence. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness.
He deserves it.
He needs a second kill. He entered saving Lucian, so he says, this kill is mine.
Mm-hmm. DJ trying to steal this away. Doesn't have any support here.
Does he need it, though? Just going
No,
super
apparently not. Zulian decides not to fight back.
Goes for the kill.
Away.
Has the Thresh join him now, so we'll be turning on to the red buff. Should be able to get a refresh on that, unless Oriana is able to steal it away. The Janitor still on the wrong side of the map, uses the Blast Cone to get safe for a moment. Death Sentence is just barely going to miss. Oriana able to walk away for the moment, and that looks like red buff is going to go over to Kane. Oh, Lucian also able to pick up a
Wait, Boxy just killed himself.
Yeah, Boxy lands the stun, but immediately uses the broken stopwatch and actually survives. Once again, playing with deaths. Jason's forced to leave. Flash for flash on the bottom side. J1 in trouble. It's a squishy Zyra Flay into death sentence. Janitor cannot be stopped. Is going to give kill to Kane. 3-1 and 1. So Jason goes full aggression using the ultimate. Boxy maybe going down. Forced to flash to save for the moment. The shield keeping him alive. As there's Zulian on the bottom side. It is going to be dropping to DJ, who gets the shield and the Dark Passage. Gets out the heal from 945 as well. Kane survives, and man, Temmos, in what looked like a fairly even game at the beginning, is just snowballing to a 6,000 gold lead. Will Boxy finally die in the top lane? Nah, he's gonna try to get his own kill. Laser gets half of Sejace's health. Can Renekton get the turnaround? He's waiting on his cooldowns. One more auto attack from Boxy, finishes off Sejace's, and he gets his second kill on the top side.
Yep, so that's going to be Boxy going for a really solid build. Let's see, what is he gonna end up going for? Yeah, he's gonna try for the more defensive option. Not sure. Well, I mean, there's really nobody on the enemy team who could deal with him. And if you go defensive when you have a lead, sometimes that ends up with more of a lead than if you went straight offensive, because the defensive stats allow you to make mistakes. And so imagine this: you're already ahead. Your opponent doesn't get ahead of you unless you make mistakes. Defensive options allow you to make those mistakes without getting punished for it as much. That's what defensives do. So sometimes if you're playing top lane, rushing Ninja Tabby if you're playing against Fiora, so you kill her early. Hold on a second.
Now we gotta engage in the mid lane. Thresh getting that slowdown as well. Double knockup though from Zyra, trying to make the counter play. Janitor maybe going down for the third time this game. Patchinator picks it up, and that is going to be a very happy Oriana as a colleague forced to completely leave the fight. And that's a question I had for you as well as you're finishing up what you were saying. What champion on tension can be a carry for the team? Because right now everyone's really struggling so far this game. You need at least one person that can be that headline to carry the game. As DJ is going to gank Sejace's on that top side. It's a 1v1 for the moment. Zyra coming in from behind. Sejace's uses the ultimate for a little bit extra heal. DJ just chases in using the ultimate as well. Guarantees themselves a kill. But Tension gets their own turret in the mid lane, evening those up 1-1.
Yeah, I would say that the Graves is going to be their best option for carrying. Graves scales crazy hard in the late game, and will have the ability to duel most people on the enemy team, with the exception of probably Victor. But this, yeah, this is. Wait, they didn't chase it. That was dead MF if they wanted to.
They instead decided to focus on defending that turret, and Thresh getting hit by those minions, breaking his Moby's boost was really a big factor there. They're going to be clearing up these control wards on that bottom side. They are down a Drake against Tension, and the Drake we can check to see is an Ocean Drake. Will be the second Drake of the game.
Meanwhile, just clearing out red buffs and such. I want to see more vision down on this map. Red team has a ton of vision.
Oh, great catch on Boxy on that top side. Takes him out. No chance to escape. He's going to go down. Another great death sentence from Thresh as well. Could mean the death of the Orianna. So Jace is using that Shroud to escape. J1, sliver of health. DJ chases it in. Smites her down for the finish. Janitor extremely low. Nerzulian gets a clean kill. Should be able to finish off the Akali as well. Picking up a double. And Tension really trying to come back into this game. Let me play, getting a little bit of damage onto 945 before going down. Can't fight against that trading killer. Graves gonna fall to DJ, who says, you may have picked up a double kill, but I still have the final call.
Assassin Kane fully online now. Wow, dealing a ton of damage to Jason. Just straight up gonna kill him.
All right,
wow.
So you have a murderous Kane and a unbelievably good Thresh. Yeah, things not looking good for Tension.
Also, they have Boxy on the enemy team, who's just going to continue scaling. Lucian in a spot of trouble.
He's got no mana.
They want to continue going forward. He's out of mana.
Gonna slow him. J1 has plenty of health and plenty of mana. Gets the kill onto the enemy AD carry. And that is really good when your bottom lane Misfortune is starting to struggle so hard. Janitor using that speed move, coming in, getting the slow onto the Misfortune. And there is a Kane to follow up perfectly. Death Sentence to land on Misfortune. The Flay isn't even necessary as Kane starts to go underneath the turret. His ult's not back up though, so he's gonna have to back away, allowing the Orianna to live for now. So Jace is gonna lose his life once again to Boxy on that top side unless he can make the outplay of his life, and he cannot.
Nope, no outplay, just death. This is actually a really brilliant counter pick. Whenever Renekton goes forward, you drop the gravity well at your feet, and he gets stunned up unless he peels off the engage. You can always harass with Q because the movement speed allows you to run away. E is also that way, so you just have constant poke, constant distance creators, and then a counter-engaging tool, plus sustained DPS through your ultimate. Really?
Into that mid lane, Assassin Kane can kill the Orianna before she even finishes the ult, and that is a real feels bad when you flash after Kane has already used his ultimate. He's gonna get the Dark Passage to escape all damage as the Graves ult pings just below him. On top of it all, beautiful play there from the 11-1 Kane. The flash from the Thresh to try to get a death sentence won't land. Bullet time for Misfortune to clear up a few minions, but not in a great position. We'll have to just run the long way around to defend the second tier turret, because that first tier turret may be going down. So Jason trying to engage, gets the stun. Can they find anyone as 945 calling gets dropped? Gonna drop several members of Tension down to about half, and they're gonna once again back away playing defensively.
And this is going to just expand into a big push down the mid lane. Janitor just going to run forward. Righteous Glory decides not to use it, but pushes them all off this tower. That should result in it going down. But Lucian going to trade his life over, unable to dodge those thorns. Bot lane, you just have Sejace trying to pick up as much farm as he can, but that's going to be cut short as he gets one shot by the Kane.
Yeah, Seshat going in against 3 members. We'll see what the Akali can do. She's snared up. Zyra starting to actually help very much to be able to catch some of these people out. The stun goes down onto the Graves. He ult, picking up Janitor, and now the Victor is the one in his sights. Nerzulian going to lose his life. J1 is very squishy. Zyra, can he get the trade damage down? Finds the root and might get a last little bit of damage down. It won't be enough at the moment as DJ comes to the back line, finds Misfortune. She's got nothing. Patchoneer flashing forward, wants to finish onto the Boxy, but he's going to stun himself on the Gravity Well, and that means he's probably going down. Kane able to get that kill, wants to chase in on J1. I think Zyra will be able to escape for now. No, actually walks back forward. Okay, so Kane gonna try to run through the wall. I did want to say earlier, okay.
Goodbye.
No, the root keeps the KJ1 alive for the moment, trying to get a trade down, but the reset from the tower shot with that ultimate from Kane means that he's able to escape for now. Boxy living just a bit of help. That Gravity Well is so pertinent. Every time he drops it, somebody's either flashing or CC'd until they die.
Pretty much. Nerzulian gonna try and come in. Yeah, he's gonna drop the ultimate, shut down for the Victor on that top side. However, probably gonna get shut down himself. Wait, no! No, the smite comes through and the double kill coming through for the Kane, who's probably going to recall right there.
17
but just a
and
slow
1
collapse as things continue on. Patchonator has been playing decently, but is just going to get lit up by this Lucian. And J1 manages to find that trade kill onto the Lucian and may have saved their inhibitor turret going down. Good supporting.
Taking that AP route, really looking for damage. So Jace is splitting on that bottom side, able to pick up 1 turret, and now going to knock the second one down to about half. Will probably die to it, as we already seen the Kane, who's just is insanely damage heavy, going to be able to slash him down with the help of Thresh just to get the assist as well. Legendary John DJ, 18 and 1 his kill score, over half of his team's kills.
That's the sad part, is that he has 18 kills, and it's only half. Also, Nerzulian just popped the stopwatch and probably killed himself. Yes, he just killed himself.
He's not going to help you out when Resh is coming in. Akali able to pick that one up. Ocean Drake going to go over to Temmos as they've already started up and should be able to easily finish that. This is one of those games that, despite trying to even out who has the strengths, I think we actually put a stronger player on the side of tension. It just, between the picks and between the plays, works out well for Temmos as Kane gets rooted up, so he's going to be slowed down and able to continue to chase that one in. Thresh using the Dark Passage to pull Let Me Play, or Seshat to himself. Oh wait, Akali flashing out of the bullet time from Misfortune. So good ult there for Misfortune to get that flash out of the Akali.
Think of it always as a trade of cooldowns. If they have to use a longer cooldown to absorb your shorter cooldown, you won.
Misfortune moving aggressively forward, low mana, 945 on the back line, gonna find Patchonator, the culling, gonna do a lot of damage. J1 should be able to get the trade, is going to just barely. Boxy now in a spot of trouble, so Jace is actually the one who, with that exhaust, trying to run away, uses the ultimate, can't slice and dice anywhere, he's going to fall. Seshat picks up the 6th kill of the game, but it's 38 kills to 16, really. Tension is just kind of playing disrespectfully by playing outside of their turret, because if you don't have that 6th man of the turret, you're just going to lose every single fight.
Yeah, I think even with it at this point, it's kind of generous. They have a lot of champions who can reset turret aggro, and Nerzulian just going to go down right here.
Flashing, using the collateral damage, gets a bit of damage down, but not going to be nearly enough. J1 trying to save him, flashes for the moment. Janitor chasing in, flashes forward, drops the ignite to get the kill. Now on the run, able to do so easily, picks up another kill with the death sentence on Misfortune. That shows you just how strong this team is. Patches are going to drop. It's a menu feast for the side of Temmos. They just say, who do you want? And you're going to be able to pick a kill on them as Kane gets his 20th kill of the game. He could probably 1v5 at this point.
Yeah. It would be even more disgusting if he was on red Kane, because then he wouldn't be able to die either.
Mid lane and middle turret will drop. They're going to be able to pick that one up. Do they stick around for the inhibitor or not? And I think I accidentally gave myself the hiccup, so if you'll excuse me. Lucian able to defend that top lane for a little bit, but still lost the turret. A tiny bit of gold back into the hands of Tension, but still being down 15,000 gold never feels good. And they have a long way if they're going to try to get back into this game. I don't really see how they could, but I mean, give me your best analysis. Is there any way? What's the
Sneak Baron and Turtle?
Scenario? Ooh, all right.
Especially if you crack an inhib, but their jungler's down now, so they can't take Baron. Really, yeah, red team should go take Baron right now. The enemy jungler's down. There's no chance of a steal. They're playing super greedy at the moment.
Let me play. Gonna drop once again despite flashing, and she'd already used the heal earlier, so didn't have that. But Akali picks up a double kill with the help of Johnny DJ. Janitor clearing up this jungle. You get no vision, you get nothing, and Turtle is right for Tension, but can you turtle inside your own base? Maybe even getting a kill on Kayn. Orianna picks it up. That is a huge amount of gold. 1,500 gold to Patchinator. Those are the types of turtling plays that you need to do to get back into this game when the enemy team goes over aggressive.
Yeah, 1,500 gold sounds like a lot of money, and it is. However, it's not enough money.
Nice root by J1. I gotta say, this Zyra is really starting to make a name for herself. 5, 7, and 5, trying to step up where the rest of the team is struggling, and those roots are starting to become truly impactful when these fights break out. The question is, can she land those on those targets that are the carries of the enemy team that allows her team to actually pick up the kills? Because you can root everyone all day long unless your team, it's not going to do anything if your team can't follow up and get a kill off of it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I've noticed about playing tanks, is that it's one thing to find a good engage. Like, the art of playing a tank has very, like, tanks for the most part are very simple. It has very little to do with watching your champion and everything to do with watching your team and kind of playing through in your head, okay, what's going to happen if I land this ability on 4 members right here? Where are my team? Are they in range? Hold on. It looks like, whoa!
Another
Boxy
root.
shut down.
Boxy goes down on the top side. DJ picks his own kill, but he's not here to help the team fight, who are forced out of the Tension's base, as they have already lost that mid lane inhibitor, but they're able to save the rest of the base. Temmos looking to turn to the bottom side and get some pressure there. Graves, though, gonna find Sesh. Shat gets some pretty decent burst damage, drop her to half. She uses the Shroud to escape, though, so she should be alright.
Yep. Shroud OP. I do like what Nerzulian's doing, trying to clear out vision as much as he can, but they just have nobody dropping vision. There's a little bit on the top side of the map. It's all very awkwardly spaced. Rewards densely packed together, but other than that, nothing else.
That's what you gotta do when you're sneaking vision. J1 maybe being caught out here. Double man root, but the flay is gonna guarantee the kill. Johnny picking up his next as he's going to just start slicing through the enemy team. The CC, though, is enough for him to drop. Orianna picks up shutdown on him as well, picking up another 600 gold. So Jace is probably going to drop his the Ignite, going to be ticking away. Janitor gets his killing spree on as Patchinator uses the barrier on the bottom side, defending against 945, gets the ultimate as well, but with that turret damage, still going to follow him through the dark passage of the Janitor, and he will be going down. Nerzulian has the GA, though, so feels safe going underneath the turret, forcing Janitor to drop, and the GA keeps him alive. So once again, Tension saves their own base and gets a bunch of shutdown gold, finishing off Temmos' players, at least 4 of them, as Victor pushes the top side.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Temmos to just force Baron. That's what they need to do. Line up for Baron, get some wards deep in the enemy jungle, and then just do the Baron. They have all the position to do that, crack the base, and end it quickly.
And the ending it slowly is actually giving time for Tension to a little bit get back into this game. The gold lead went from 15,000 gold down to 12,000 gold. And again, the longer the game goes, so we saw plenty of time, the less that gold lead will matter. We'll see if they can keep delaying it out with those mistakes that Temmos is making, allowing themselves to be shut down, giving a bunch of gold over to the enemy team. But it does seem like Baron is on their mind.
It does look like that's what they're lining up for. And Johnny DJ just going to one-shot their AD carry real quick, take a break from his busy schedule doing Baron and stuff like that, just to go remove their enemy AD carry off the table.
And that's one of those really rough positions that you want to have the vision in the jungle so that you can see where the enemy is going, see if they're on Baron. I mean, they were making the right call that Temmos was probably on Baron, but you're the AD carry, you're the squishy members. You need to be grouped with your team or just accept that you're going to lose Baron. I've done it 1,000 times on squishy supports, just try to walk in, get that vision, and only lose my life, making the situation even that much worse. Now, not only do they get a kill on you, but they also take the Baron as well.
So that's going to be the Baron going down, and that should spell the end of the game real quick. That is a Drake that's going to be going over, but Ocean Drake at this phase of the game, this far behind, who really cares?
The Jace is even with that ultimate. You can see how much damage this Kayn can do. The Zyra goes golden, but will still be finished off. And Johnny DJ just puts the entire team on his back. Says, guys, you literally don't have to do anything. AFK and base, I've got this. 27, 3 and 4, probably smurfing at this point is just insanity. As the top lane turret going to fall, and the Ibiter going to be next lined up. Says Shat dropped to about half, but with Thresh going in aggressively, getting that slowdown on the Orianna as well, there's not much hope left for the side of Tension. Victor flashing forward, looking for an Nerzulian who's able to escape back onto the fountain. We'll see if he can make anything happen. The top lane inhibitor going to fall.
And as that inhib falls, you got another big wave coming in on the bot side that looks like they're going to try and end it as cleanly as possible, though really they could just not get the turrets right here. They're strong enough. But they're going to go for the triple inhib and then walk it straight in with Baron, and it's the best idea.
Oh, no chance to flash and bring the Kayn onto the fountain. He probably would have escaped anyway. Boxy barely staying alive with a shield. He might be going down. So Jace finally gets revenge from the entire game long. Graves also able to pick up the Lucian, slowing this push from Temmos down, and they surrender the game at the very end. Bait the casters in. The tension mounted so much that Temmos had to give up. They just said, there's too much on the line, too much at stake, too much tension, we can't bear it! And they ended the game themselves, surrendering, giving the victory over to Tension after a very long and brutal game.
Now let's get MVPs on mentions and shoutouts a bit here. Once my... Alright, here we are. Okay, so MVPs, honorable mentions, and shoutouts. So who technically won? Like,
according to the surrender, Tension won.
okay.
I don't think it really matters. Both teams are going to get honorable mentions and MVPs. So.
Okay, so MVP, I'll do Tension first. Okay, so MVP... I want to give honorable mention to J1. He played that support despite the fact that the lane went against him. He played really well his role. He managed to get several solo kills onto 945. In spite of the fact that he was really outmatched at the moment in terms of items, XP, and everything, still managed to land all abilities on a very mobile target and get the kills. There were a couple of unfortunate instances in the lane that should have been kills but weren't. That's fine. So that's your honorable mention. Let's see. MVP. I think I'm going to have to give it over to Nerzulian. He started dying a lot toward the late game, but there wasn't much that you could help, considering Johnny DJ had 28 kills and 3 deaths, and was Assassin Kayn, who's getting closer to full build. Actually, I think he was full. And yeah, he had 6 items. Oh, pardon. All right. So, yeah, I'm So that's J1 and Nerzulian are honorable mentions. And then for Team Temmos, going to give honorable mention. Shoot. I don't know, man.
Janitor.
I'm going to have to get... Now, Johnny DJ gets the honorable mention. Janitor gets the MVP. He was just too clean on that thresh. I mean, Johnny DJ got really fed and started smashing people in the late game. But man, if Janitor didn't get the ball rolling in every single lane he visited, over the wall, hitting his hooks, he's disgusting on that thresh. So yeah, that gives him the MVP right there.
How many times did he flash fillet to start fights? Talk about just insane aggression again and again, having no issues going underneath the turret, taking turret shots to start the fights off. Johnny DJ, his cane needs to be banned against him every single time he plays. Absolutely 100%, don't get me wrong. But once you get snowballing on a champion, you can kind of just face roll and do really, really well. But Janitor really was the one who started that snowball. Johnny DJ said, I got it the rest of the game, and just blew it up. Crazy good stuff. Congratulations, the Janitor and Johnny DJ. You will never get to play those champions ever again on the stream.